I was actually sitting and thinking for 5, 10 minutes on what I actually want to talk about today. Because there's so much that happened today. I had many conversations, long conversations, podcast recording, then another podcast, two podcast recordings, two more. Um, and so there's a lot. And working on top of it, going for my run, which I did in the snowstorm. And as I was thinking, trying to come up with ideas, I had many ideas on what I could touch on. But I think good conclusion is because I was just chatting with a friend of mine, um, and and I have been, I think like today I have worked over 10 hours already, and it's been exhausting because it's been a lot of mental work. It's a lot of thinking, a lot of being present and paying attention, which takes a lot of energy and focus. And at this point, I do feel exhausted. I'm ready to go to sleep. Um, and that's why I'm hoping that my brain can still work properly to deliver this message. But at the same time, I feel so energized because I got so much joy and so much energy from the things that I did and how productive my day has been and how I didn't really negotiate with myself on certain things that I said that I'm gonna do. And I think that it reminds me of the conversation that I had with my grandma, where we asked her if she has ever felt insecure growing up, or at what point does insecurities go away. And she had really interesting answers. She said that in the time that she was growing up, she didn't have time to feel insecure or think about whether she is insecure or not, or whether she is confident or not, because she had shit to do. She was raising her sons. She was taking care of the property. She was working. She was doing so many things that it took a lot of her time and focus to actually do them. And she didn't have time to sit down and ponder on things or analyze how she's feeling and stuff like that, which I think is it's a good lesson that the lesson that I took from that was that a lot of times we focus too much on thinking too much, or we try to think our way out of the problem or the situation, which can be helpful. I don't want to say it's not helpful, but sometimes we do it too much, where now it's paralyzing us and we end up doing nothing. And the less we do, the less momentum we have, the easier it is to feel stuck or start to go in circles. And and that's why I think today, even though I'm exhausted, I feel really good because for the literally the whole day I have been doing stuff. I have been having important conversations, moving things forward while still not neglecting myself and doing my workouts. And I think that, and it's something that I have experienced at the time or the periods of my life, which this period actually is one of those periods. I'm slowly entering that phase where you have a lot of things to get done, a lot of action steps you need to do, and there's practically no free time to do nothing. Um, and something about it when you have those days or those periods when you're in the work mode, or you're in the, like my half Ironman preparation where I'm in training mode, something about it is really powerful, where it gives a lot of energy even though you're tired. But something about that, every day you give your all, and by the time you go to sleep, you know that I'm exhausted, I'm ready to go to sleep, and I have the same thing happening tomorrow. And at some point you start to take pride in that, of showing up for yourself, working on your goals, helping others as well work on their goals, which for me gives a lot of fulfillment. And it's also fun to see people grow and develop. And I think that the message I'm trying to communicate here is that thinking isn't always the best solution or the best step to take. Action actually can, you will be surprised how much things change when you take action. because that's where the real change happens, is in the things that you do, not necessarily things that you think about. Because if the thought is not followed by action, it's just a thought. It won't manifest in reality. So yeah, I think that's I don't know if there's any specific lesson here, um, other than the power of taking action and how great you can feel. And this whole day, actually, I haven't been thinking about, do I feel confident? Do I feel insecure? How do I feel? I'm just focused on what I need to do. I do that. And by the end of the day, I feel great because I have done so much. And I'm in some ways even looking forward to doing the same thing tomorrow. And on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.